Hello everyone! In this video, I'll be working again with GCSE Mathematics exam paper, and we have this paper from AQA, and this is foundation level. For the second paper, we are allowed to use calculator. I'll try to do this exam paper under the exam situation, so this video's duration will be under an hour and 30 minutes. You are advised to do all the calculation and show clearly how you work out your answer. So in this video, I will also try my best to show you how I work out my answer. And all the answer will be double checked with the marking scheme, so they will be the valid answers. Now let's get started. First questions, as usual, it's always the straightforward questions. So circle the expression that can be written as 2y. It's very obvious, it will be y plus y. Let's go ahead to the second question. Circle the decimal that is greater than 3/10 and less than 2/5. Since you are asked the decimals, it will be a good idea if we convert these two fractions into decimals as well. 3/10 will be 0.3, that's quite obvious. What about 2/5? It's actually equal to 4/10, so it's 0.4. We are asked now the decimals greater than 0.3 but less than 0.4. So we have here 0.32, and this one is no, because it's 0.0, which is very small. And this one, we can't take this because it's exactly 0.4, but we are asked something less than 0.4 here. So we can't take that. We can't take this either because only 0.24, which is less than 0.3. Let's continue with the next question. Number 3. What is 625 as a power of 5? Circle your answer. I think it's time to use your calculator. So let's try 5 in the power of 3. Here we get 125. So what if we choose 4? 5 in the power of 4 is 625. So we got the answer now. It's this one. Question 4. Circle the order of rotational symmetry of this drawing. Lots of triangles around a circle. All the triangles here around the circle are similar. So once we rotate with the center in the center of the circle, so we will have this triangle moves here. So we have one symmetry, and then we can turn it again, moves here, and so on and so forth. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Altogether, there are 8 rotational symmetry. Do we have that answer? Yes, we got 8 here. That's good. Let's carry on with the next questions. Question 5. Work out the value of 3 in the power of 6 minus the square root of 841. Time for a calculator again. 3 in the power of 6 and then minus the square root of 841. So let's check it out. It's 700. So it's quite straightforward calculation actually. That's good. 700. We don't need to show any calculation actually because we did it in calculator. Question 6. Gamma has 4 groups of friends on a social media site. The table shows the number of friends in each group. So she has family, netball, school, and guides. And the question is, which group is the mode? Well, the mode is the group with the most number. As we can see, she has a family of 8 friends, netball with 8 friends, and then 26, and then 11. So this must be the mode. And this group belongs to the school group. So we can say it is the school group. School group. Let's see for the next question. Gamma wants a pictogram to show the information. She has drawn the first 2 rows. Complete the pictogram. And remember to complete the key. Okay, let's see. the key of the circle, as you can see, she has 8 for the family group and 8 for the netball, and she drew 2 circles for 8, 2 circles for 8, so we know that one circle must be for 4 friends. This circle represents 4 friends. Now for the school and the guides, she has 26 school friends. That means she will need to draw 26 divided by 4. So she will have 6.5 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a half circle. What about the guides? It's 11 friends. For the guides, we have 4, 8, and then 12, but she has only 11 there, so we make it a 3/4. Let's just make a quick confirmation from the calculator. So 11 by 4, it's 2.75. So this is it. Let's continue with question 7. We have 2 informations here. First information says E is 3 more than D, and then F is 5 less than D. Write an expression for E in terms of D. What is E in terms of D? We have E is 3 more than D, so we have to add 3 to D. We can say D plus 3. That is E. And then F is 5 less than D, so when we have to write F in terms of D, that means we have to reduce D by 5, because F is 5 less than D. So we have D and then take away 5, that makes F. What about the next question? Work out E minus F and simplify your answer. Okay, we have E and we have F, so E minus F would be E is D plus 3, and then F is D minus 5. So if we take away all the brackets, we will have D plus 3 minus D and plus 5. Don't forget with the minus and the minus here, so it makes plus 5. Now, D minus D, that means D cancel each other. So we have only the numbers left, 3 and 5. 3 add 5, that is 8. So the answer will be 8. Question 8. The numbers 1 to 12 are put in the grid. So this is the grid. And then 2, 4, 5, 7, 10, and 12 are shown. As you can see here, there are some numbers shown on the grid already. Each of the 4 sides of the grid must add up to 26. Complete the grid using the numbers 1, 3, 6, 8, 9, and 11. That means the rest of the numbers we have to put down. I will suggest you to start with this column first, because it has 3 numbers shown already. Let's use our calculator to make 26. It has 12, 4, and 7, so we take away 12, and then take away 4, and then take away 7, so we should get 3 as the answer. So 3 should be here. Let's cross this out. Now we have 1 blank in this row. That makes easier. Let's use our calculator again. So 26, and then take away 3, take away 5, and take away 10. 3, 5, and then 10. That makes 8. So 8 should be here. Let's cross 8 out. Now we should work with this column with 3 blank boxes, or this row with 2 blank boxes. I will start with this row. So let's do the calculator computation again. They should add up into 26. So 26, take away 7, and then take away 2. We've got 17. And 17 must split up into this and this. Since we have 1, 6, 9, and 11 left, so 2 numbers that can make 17 is only 11 and 6. So if we put 6 here, 11 here. We don't know yet if it is the right order. I think it should be wrong, because if you have 10 here and 11 here, you have 21 already. And then the rest of the numbers are only 9 and 1. So it's not possible. If you add 21 to 9, then it makes 30. So instead of 6 and 11, I'll cross this out. 11 should be here, and then 6 should be here. So 10 and 6, they're 16. And then we have 1 and 9. 1 and 9 should be here. Let's check. 16 plus 1 and 9. 16 plus 10, it is 26. So this is okay. We're in question 9. In this question, use 1 foot is equal to 12 inches and 1 inch is equal to 2.5 centimeters. Change 5 feet 8 inches into centimeters. So it is foot into inch, and then from inch we have the conversion into centimeters. That means from foot to inch you times by 12, and from inch to centimeter you times by 2.5. Now from 5 feet 8 inches to centimeters, 5 feet will be 5 times 12 times 2.5. That will be, let's see with the calculator, 5 times 12 times 2.5. So we get 150. 150 here, and this should be centimeter. Then we have 8 inch now. 8 inches. It is 8 times just 2.5, because it's from inch to centimeters. 2.5. You can use calculator again. 8 times 2.5, which is 20. So it's 20 centimeters. So you just add, both are in centimeters, 0 and 0, 5 and 2, and then 1. So it's 170 centimeters. That's it. And question 10. Which of these numbers has exactly 4 factors? Circle your answer. So to find the factors, let's see this number 4. So we have 1 and 4. 1 times 4 makes 4, so 1 and 4 are the factors of 4. And then we have 2. 2 times 2 is 4, so 2 is a factor of 4. So 4 has 3 factors, which are 1 and 2 and 4. Now what about 8? We have 1 and 8. They're obviously factors of 8. And then we have 2 and 4. 2 times 4 make 8. So they obviously also factors. And that's all. Number 8 has 4 factors, exactly 4 factors. So we've got our answer here. It's 8. You can carry on with testing 12 and testing 16, but I think it's not necessary because we've got the answer here. It's number 8. Now let's carry on. Question 11. Nick has a 6-digit code. He remembers it as 3 2-digit numbers. The first number is between 10 and 20. The second number is 3 times the first number, 3 times of it. And then the third number is 5 times the first number. All 6-digit numbers are different. So we have to work out the code. It's 6-digit numbers. So if I make it into boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6-digit numbers. And then he remembers as 3 of 2 digits numbers. Okay, let's try with the first number. It's between 10 and 20, 11, 12, and so on until 19. So if we put 1 and 1 here for 11, it's not possible because the 6 digits are different. So we are not allowed to use 11. Okay, so let's use 12 instead. So instead of 1, we have 2. 1 and 2, and then the second number is 3 times the first number. That means 3 times 12, which is 36. 3 and then 6. So far so good. And then the third number is 5 times the first number. So 5 times 12, which is 60. If we use 60 here, then 6 and 6 here is not allowed because we're not supposed to repeat the numbers. So this is wrong and this is wrong. Let's try another possibility. What if we use 13? So we cross 12 out. With 13, the second number will be 3 times of 13, which is 39. 39, and they already repeats. So it's not possible. Cross this out and cross this out. What about 14? So 3 times 14 will be 42. 40 and 2. This is not possible as well. No, they've been repeated. So cross this out. Let's try with 15. What about 15? 3 times 15 is 45. So we have 45 here. And this is not possible. Again, let's try with 16. 1, 6. 3 times of 16 is 48. So we have 48. So far so good. And then 5 times the first number. Let's use our calculator. 5 times the first number, it was 16. We've got 80. So 80 here, and this is not possible. 8, they can't be repeated. What about 6, 17? 17 times 3, it's 51. It's also not possible because we have 1 here and 1 here. What about 18? 18 times 3, 54, and then 18 times 5. It's 90. 90. So we have 6 digits and all the digits are different. So we have the code. Let's write it down in the answer. The digits are 1, 8, 5, 4, 9, 0. That's it. Let's continue with question 12. How many minutes are there in 5¼ hours? Circle your answer. So in 5 hours, we have 5 times 60 minutes, which is 300 minutes. And then in a quarter of hour, in a quarter, we have 15 minutes. Well, it's quite obvious. We have it in daily life. So 315. 315, which is this one. Quite straightforward question. I like it. Next question, 13. Here's a formula for the amount of water needed to cook rice. W must be the water, and then R must be the rice. Yes, it is. Now, how many cups of water are needed to cook 7 cups of rice? We have 7 for R here, so we just use this formula. W is equal to 1.5 R plus 0.5. So it is 1.5 times R is equal to 7. I like to use brackets. And then 0.5. 1.5 times 7, 10.5 and 0.5. So it's 11. The next question is how many cups of rice can be cooked with 20 cups of water? So I'd like to take this formula again. W equal to 1.5 R plus 0.5. Now we have 20 cups of water. That means W is equal to 20. So we have 20 here. 1.5 R plus 0.5. This has the variable R. This is only number and this is only number. So I'll move 0.5 to the left hand side. It has 20 minus 0.5. It's 1.5 R. 20 minus 0.5 is 19.5. Is equal to 1.5 R. So R is 19.5 divided by 1.5, which is 13. Question 14a. Use your calculator to work out this number times this number. 9.95, 9.95 square, so I put square here, times 29.8, 29.8. So the answer is 2950.2745. This is our answer, 2950.2745. This is the answer for 14a. Let's continue. Now 14b. Is your answer to part A sensible? Use approximation to decide, and you must show your working. Okay, how do we approximate this? 9.95, it's like almost 10, so we can approximate it like 10 square. And this one, 29.8, we can say it's nearly 30. So if I use approximation, that will be 10 square times it's 30. Well, 10 square is 100, and then 100 times 30, that will be 3000. So by approximation we have 3000, by the calculator we have 2950 point something something. So it's nearly 3000. So we can say yes, our answer by calculator is sensible. So there's no mistake when we were doing with the calculator. Let's tick the box. It is sensible. Let's carry on. Question 15. The graph of y is equal to 4 minus x for values of x from minus 2 to 5 is shown on the grid. So let's see on the grid now. This is the grid, and this must be the line. Y is equal to 4 minus x. Now on the grid, draw the graph of y equal to 2x minus 5 for values of x from minus 2 to 5. So we are supposed to make another line. This is the line equation on the same grid here. To make a line, we need at least 2 points. Let's make our points. Let's say we have x equal to minus 2 and then x equal to 5. Then we need to find where are the points. For x minus 2, we have y is equal to 2 times minus 2 and then take away 5. So we have minus 4 and then minus 5, which is minus 9. So our first point will be minus 2 minus 9, which is here. Minus 2 minus 9, it's here. Now for the second point, let's use x equal to 5. So y is equal to 2 times 5, take away 5, which is 10, take away 5, we got 5. So our second point will be 5, 5. 5 and 5 is here. This should be our line. And now use your graph to solve these equations. 2x minus 5 is equal to 4 minus x. As we know that our new line was y equal to 2x minus 5, while the old line is 4 minus x. So this is the new line and this is the old line. That means the new line meets the old line. So they meet here when x is equal to 3. So x is equal to 3. And we can also double check our answer by solving these algebraic equations. So if x moves to the left, that will be 2x plus x. And then if minus 5 moves to the right, then we have 4 plus 5. So we have 3x and 9 on the right. So x is equal to 9 by 3, which is 3. So we confirm that our answer is correct. X is equal to 3. Let's continue with question 16. It's 16a. BCD is a straight line. So we have here BCD, this line. And then triangle ABC is equilateral triangle ABC. So that means angle A will be 60 degree and B is 60 degree and C is 60 degree. That's from this information. And then we have another information. It says CE is equal to DE. So CE, this one, and DE is this one. Okay, let's use these informations. Now work out the size of angle X. X is here. So we'll use the second triangle here, C, D, and E. If E is 28 degree and then this angle and this angle are the same, let's see how many degrees they are. The whole triangle should be 180 degree. If we take away 28 degree, it will be 180. Take away 28, we've got 152, and 152 will be divided into two angles, C and then D. 152 divided by 2, we've got 76 each. 76, and then here is 76. 152. Since we have to show our work, then it would be a good idea if we write here first, second, 152 degree divided by 2, we got 76 degree. Now let's see our straight line BCD. So in this straight line, in the point C, we have 60 degree plus x and then plus 76. So we can write here the third computation, 60 degree plus x plus 76 degree is equal to 180 degree. X is now equal to 180, take away 60, and then take away 76. Let's use our calculator. So 180 take away 60 and then take away 76. So we got 44. So x is 44 degree. This is our answer. Let's write it down here on the answer column. 44, it says degrees. So that's it. Now 16b, Amber is working out the size of an interior angle of a regular octagon. Her method is interior angle is equal to 360 divided by 8. Is her method correct? Well, as long as I know, the interior angle has a formula. The interior angle is equal to 180 minus 360 divided by n. And n is the number of the sides. So if it's regular octagon, that means it has 8 sides. So n is 8. That means 180 take away 360 divided by n. N is 8. While here she has only part of the formula, which is this one. So I would say no, her method is not correct. Let's tick the box. No. Our reason why we should say no, her method is not correct is because she used only part of the formula. And intuitively actually we can see that her method is totally wrong, because if she really used this formula, 360 divided by 8, should be 45. Let's see, 360 divided by 8, it's 45. Can you see this as 45? It's an obtuse angle which is more than 90 degrees. So 45 degrees for this angle, it can't be the case. That could be the reason why her method is not correct. Okay, let's move on. Question 17. Here is a map of an island with cities A, B, and C. Let's see the island. Okay, the straight line represents the roads. Straight line A, B, and then to C here. A is due west of B. As we can see, A is here and B is here, so A is due west of B. Write down the bearing of A from B. We can make a line towards the north, like this, and then let's see the angles from that line to this line. From B goes to A. So this angle must be 3/4 of the whole circle, so it's 3/4 of 360. So it is 270 degree. It's degree and it is degree. So 270. The next question is still connected to the previous one. Here Uma drives from A to B on the road shown and Cass drives from B to C on the road shown. Use the map to work out how much further Uma drives than Cass, and you must show your working. Let's see on the map. So from the map we can see that going from A to B with the scale 1 centimeter represents 200 kilometers, and we're comparing with the driving from B to C with this route. Please use your rulers, because I'm going to use my ruler here on the paper. I can't do it on the screen at the moment, I'm sorry. My measurement says from A to B is 6.5 centimeters, and then this line segment is 2.5 also centimeters, and this one is 2 centimeters. So Umer, who drives from A to B, he drove 6.5 centimeters times 200 kilometer for each centimeter. That is 65 times 2 is 13, and then you have 100 here. So he drove 1300 kilometer. And the second one, Cass, driving from B to C, so he drove through two segments, 2.5 and then 2 centimeters times the scale 200 kilometer. So we have 4.5 times 200. That would be kilometer. That is 9 and 100. Now the question was, how much further Umer drives than Cass? So Umer drives this number and Cass this number. So the answer will be 1300 minus 900, which is 400 kilometer. Let's write it down here, 400, and kilometers here. Question 18. A shop sells raincoats and umbrellas. The scatter graph shows the monthly sales for 12 months. Let's see. This is our graph. It is a scattered points on the graph, sales of the raincoats and then sales of the umbrellas. And now the question is, write down the type of correlation shown by the graph. As you can see, the scattered, it goes up while it goes to the right. So we can see positive correlations between the two variables. So it is positive. And the next question will be, the manager expects the sales of umbrellas next month to be £60. Draw a line of best fit to estimate the sales of raincoats next month. So if it is 60, let's see the grid again. If it is 60, then the sale will be about here, because as you can see the correlation. So if it is 60, that will be about here. Let's draw the line first. The line will be from here to somewhere here or here. But we want to cover as many points as possible. So let's see, we take about here to represent all the scattered points. So we stop here. Now, from £60, we got somewhere here. This is 60 and a little bit above 125. So we can say maybe 129 or 130. We decided it's about here. So we can write down the expectation. It's about £130. Question 19. It looks like a very straightforward question for me. Multiply out this term and this term. So it's x times x, it makes x squared, and then x times minus 4, that will be minus 4x. So it's quite straightforward. We've got the answer now. Let's carry on with the next question. 20. The ratio between A and B is 5/2. How many times larger is A than B? So A is 5 while B is 2. Then we can write it down as A divided by B is equal by 5 divided by 2. And then if we move B to this side, A is equal to 5/2 times B, or simplify this into a mixed fraction, 2.5B. So we can say that A is 2.5 times bigger than B. So this is our answer. Question 21, part A. A circle has a radius 4.2 centimeter. Work out the length of the circumference and give your answer to one decimal place. Okay, do you remember how to find out the circumference of a circle? I'll use this formula. Let's say circumference for C. So it's pi times the diameter. But we don't have the diameter. Instead, we have the radius. So pi times this radius times 2. So 2 times the radius, that will be the diameter. So we've got 2 times 4.2, it's 8.4, and then times pi. This should be okay, this answer in pi. But if you want to replace pi by the number, that should be okay as well. So I've got here 8.4 pi centimeter. The next part of this question is, the circle below has center O. This is O. Now draw a sector on the circle. To draw a sector, we just need to take a line to the edge and then another line to the edge. Then this will be a sector. The small one, this will be the minor sector, and this big part will be the major sector of the circle. 22. Two ordinary fair dice are rolled, and then complete the tree diagram. This is a tree diagram. This is for the first dice and then the second dice. It's 1/3 here. That means the probability is 1/3 to get less than 3. And for 3 or more, it's just 1 take away 1/3. That is 2/3 here. Now with the second dice, it's also the same. It's 1/3, so this will be 2/3. And then here, for less than 3, that means 1 or 2. 3 or more is 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it's 2 out of 6, which is the same, 1/3 and then 2/3. Now the next question is, work out the probability that both dice land on a number less than 3. If both dice land on the number less than 3, that means first dice will go here and the second dice will go, it's here. So the probability that both happens is 1/3 times 1/3, which is 1/9. So the answer is 1/9. This sign times if we want to have both happens. It's just an additional tips for you. If you are asked instead of both, you are asked or, so either first dice or second dice, then the probability will be 1/3 plus 1/3, which is 2/3. That is plus. So or makes plus, and both or and, we use this sign. We times them. So in this case, we use times because it's both. Question 23. Match its sequence to its descriptions. One has been done for you. So this one has been done. Let's see the whole question. Alright. So we have here the one that is done for us. It's 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. It is a Fibonacci sequence because if you see the first two numbers, 1 and 1, 1 add 1, you get 2. And then if you add 3, 2 add 3, you get 5. And then if you add 3 and 5, you get 8. And if you add 8 to 5, you get 13. So this is a Fibonacci sequence. And what about the second one? It's 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. From 1 to 2, you double it. And you double it again. And you double it again, times 2. And from 4 to 8, you double it again. Double it again, double it again. That means it's a geometric progression. So it is this one. What about this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going up, 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 up by adding just 1. Add more 1, add 1, add 1, add 1. So it is called arithmetic progression. So you see the key is if you times it with the same number all the time, it makes geometric progression. If you add the numbers with the same number every time, that makes arithmetic progression. So that's the key. Now let's see what is this sequence now. 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21. It looks like triangular numbers. Let me show you what the triangular numbers is. Can you see this pattern? So we have 3 circles here and then 6 circles. Every time you add another row, it makes this pattern of number 3, 6, 10, 15, 21. And you can actually guess what is before 3. It must be 1 circle here. So 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21 is a triangular sequence. While this one, 1, 4, 9, 16, it looks very familiar if you know the square numbers. 1 is actually 1 square, and then 4 is 2 square, and this is 3 square, 4 square, 5 square, 6 square. So this sequence is the square numbers. It goes here, square numbers. So this will be the last one, must be cube, because we don't have any other option. But you can also check that it is 1 cube, it's 2 cube, 3 cube, 4 cube, 5 cube, 6 cube. So that's it. Question 24. The table shows information about the population of a city. Population in 2001 is this number, and then population in 2011 is this number. It's increased. Now Liam claims from 2011 to 2021, the population of the city will increase by the same percentage as from 2001 to 2011. And he works out population increase from 2001 to 2011 is 480,000 minus 420,000. He got 60,000. And then population in 2021 will be 480,000 plus 60,000. So he used 60,000 directly to add to the last number, and he got 540,000. The question is, does the population of 540,000 match his claim? You must show your working. Okay, let's check it together. Now from his claim, he says between 10 years, the population will increase with the same percentage as it is from the last 10 years. Okay, let's see. From the first 10 years, we have this increment, which is 60,000. How many percent is that? So this will be the first 10 years. It is 60,000 people by the original number. It was 420,000. If we have to find the percentage, so we times it with 100%. And it will be, let's see if we can cancel these zeros and these zeros. So we have 600 divided by 42, and it has percentage. Let's use our calculator. 600 divided by 42, we have 14.285 something. So let's make it into 2 decimal places. So 29, 14.29, 14.29%. Now let's check the second 10 years. He says it will be increased by 60,000 again. So 60,000 of the original number. The original number in the beginning of the 10 years, it is 480,000. And we do the same thing. We times it by 100%. So we can cancel these 4 zeros and 4 zeros here. So 600 again, divide by 48, and we still have percentage here. Let's use our calculator again. 600 divided by 48. We get 12.5. It's 12.5%. And they're not the same. So you can make conclusion that his calculation here does not match with his claim here. So the answer is no, it doesn't match. Let's write it down here. The answer is no. Question 25. On 3 days, Ali throws darts at a target. Here are his results. So he did it in 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday. Then this is the total. He got number of throws, number of hits, and number of misses. The first question is, work out two different estimates for the probability of Ali hitting the targets. So this is number of the hits, and this is number of the throws, and we are asked to find the probability. But we are asked to find two different estimates of the probability. Okay, so the first estimation we could do by taking each day data, like 15 hits out of 20 throws. So the probability will be 15 by 20. Or we can use the data from Tuesday, it's 22 by 30. Or we can use data from Wednesday, 17 by 40. I'll take the big number, 14 and 70. So that is the first way to find the estimation of the probability by taking 1 day data. I'll write it down here. By taking 1 day data. And the second way is by taking the whole data from all the experiments, which is in 3 days. So we see he got 54 number of hits out of 90 throws. So the second estimation is by taking all the data. And I think it would be good if we write down the probability as well. So for the first estimation, we will have the probability is equal to 17 by 40, while in the second estimation, we will have the probability is 54 by 90. Let's check this number by comparing them in decimal places. So for the first one, we have 17 divided by 40. So the probability will be 0.425. 0.425. While the second one, it's 54 divided by 90. That is 0.6. 0.6. Let's write it down here on the answer column. The first one is 0.425 and the second one is 0.6. Now the next question. Which of your two answers is better estimate for the probability of Ali hitting the target? Give a reason for your answer. So as I said before, when I was choosing this between Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I thought the probability will be better. The estimation will be closer to the real number of probability if we take the most number of throws or the most number of experiments, which is 40 in this case. So if we have the total number of experiments is 90, this will be a better approximation for the probability. Let's write our reasons here. So the answer is 0.6. This is better than this one because it came from a bigger number of experiments. We write it here. Because it came from a bigger number of experiments. Okay, so that's it. Question 26. Theo starts with savings of £18. James starts with no savings. Each week from now, Theo will save £4.50 and James will save £4. In how many weeks will Theo and James have savings in the ratio 15 by 8? Let's write it down. T for Theo and then J for James. So we have for T, it starts with 18, and for J, it starts with 0. And the first week, Theo will save 4.5, so it will be 4.5, and James will save £4. This is the first week. And the second week, they will do the same, 4, 5, and then here 4, and so on, and so forth. So we have a formula here for Theo. 18 plus 4.5 times number of the weeks they have been saving. So W is for how many weeks. This is it. While here it will be 0. We don't need to write anything. So it's just 4 times W. We have the formulas. We want to compare the ratio between them. Now the ratio between t and j will be 15/8 in a certain way. We can also write this ratio as fractions. So for t, we have 18 plus 4.5w by j. J is 4w. And then we have on the right hand side, it is 15/8. Now let's do the cross multiplication. 8 times 18, and then we add 8 times 4.5w is equal to this one, 15 times 4w. We write it down here, 4w. So let's use our calculator. 8 times 18, we have 144. And we add with 8 times 4.5, it is 36. 36, and don't forget with w, we have w here. And then 15 times 4, it's 60. So it's 60w. So we want to move this w to the right hand side. Let's continue here in this space. So we have 144 in the left hand side, and then we have 60w in the right hand side, and we have minus 36w in the right hand side. So 60w minus 36w, that will be 24w, and it's still 144. So w is 144 divided by 24, which is, let's use calculator, 144 divided by 24, and we got 6. It is 6. So this ratio will happen after 6 weeks. Question 27. Volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed, where r is the radius. A container is a hemisphere of radius 30 cm. Sun fills the container at a rate of 4,000 cm3 per minute. Does it take less than a quarter of an hour to fill the container? You must show your working. So before we find out how many hours or minutes to fill the container, we need to find the volume first. Let's just use this formula given here. So the volume will be 4/3 pi r cubed, but it's volume of a sphere, while this one is just a half of it. So we need to times it by half. Then we can start the computation. So it's 4/3 and then pi, and then the radius is 30 centimeter. So we have 30 and then cube here, and then don't forget with the half. So if we use calculator, 4 divided by 3 and then times pi and then times 30, but it's 30 cube, 30 in the power of 3, and then divide by 2. So we've got the volume is this number, 56548.67. Now to fill this container with the sand, the rate of the sand filling is 4,000 cm3 per minute. Let's check how many minutes we will need to fill up the whole container. Let's say time will be in minutes, is this volume divided by this volume. So 56548.67 divided by 4,000. The reason we can divide it is because this volume is in centimeter cube, and this volume is also in centimeter cube. Let's use a calculator again. 56548.67 divided by 4000. So it's 14.137. I'll say 14. 14.14, and the unit will be minutes. So it takes actually only 14.14 minutes. That means the answer is yes, it takes less than a quarter of an hour, because a quarter of an hour will be 15 minutes. So we write the answer here. Yes. Question 28. This will be the last question in this paper. The length of each side of a regular pentagon is 8.4 centimeter to 1 decimal place. Complete the error interval for the length of one side. Okay, so it's a pentagon, so it has 5 sides, and it's a regular one, with each side is 8.4 centimeters. Now we are asked about the error interval for the length of one side. So any measurements a little shorter or a little longer will be accepted as 8.4 as long as it's not too little and it's not too long. So we need to find a number that can be rounded up to 8.4. So it must be less than 8.4. Let's take 8.3 something. What is the second decimal digit we should put here so we can round it up to 8.4? So you remember, if we have 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, if any of this number goes in this box, then we can round this 8.3 something into 8.4. So let's take the smallest one. It is 8.35. So if it is 8.35 or 36 or 37 or 38 or 39, we can round it up into 8.4. Now, let's check what should be here on the right hand side. We can take a little longer measurements as long as it's not too long, that it can be rounded down into 8.4. So it should be 8.4 and something. A little longer. What is something here that we can round it down to this number? So this something should be either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. So any of this number, if they go to this box, then this number 8.4 something will be rounded down to 8.4. Now please be aware with this sign. It says less than. That means we don't need to include this number. So it will be 8.4 and 5 because 5 is not included. The next question, that will be the very last question. Complete the error interval for the perimeter. So the perimeter, because we have 5 sides, we just multiply 5 by the length of each side. Because we are asked the interval for the perimeter, so we use this interval from 835 and 845. So the perimeter will be between 5 times this number, 835, and 5 times this number, 845. Let's use our calculator. It's 5 times 835. It is 41.75. So it's 41.75. And then for this one, again 5 times 8.45. It is 42.25. So here will be 42.25. So that was the end of the questions in this paper. Let's celebrate. And good luck with your exam.